If I wasn't involved in a private foundation and a financial advisor wanted to get me personally, talk about the things that are going to pull the heartstrings a little bit. I think there's a lot of things that they could talk about as far as tax incentives and financial planning and things that are definitely pros, right? But start talking about legacy. Start talking about things that are important to me and passions that I have and what we can do financially to align with those.
There's no question that advisors today have a much larger obligation to be able to fulfill clients' philanthropic expectations. And the reason is because there's an overwhelming amount of empirical research that shows an increasing number of families, particularly driven by the younger generations, are expecting that their financial advisors will have that tool in their toolkit. If I were sitting there on conference calls every quarter telling them this stock was up 5%, this bond was down 3%, we wouldn't have the connectivity that we have and I think we enjoy now. And there's no question that it makes our relationship that much more rich, and importantly gives me as an advisor a little bit more insight into how they all interact with each other.
You know, what I really love about working with clients with their family foundations is that our relationships with families spans market cycles and generations. Families have very different desires, and by understanding what's really important to them, it helps me as an advisor to get to know that family better. And that's very important to me because these are long-term relationships, and the better I get to know a family, the longer I believe that relationship will last.
Foundation Source has been built to support private foundations for families, and it takes much of the paperwork and heartache away from running a private foundation, and that's just a load off your mind.
I realized, geez, I have to be an expert in taxes and in all kinds of things that I just don't have the time to do.
The consultants and the external support is essential. We wouldn't want to try to go this alone.
One of the great things about working with Foundation Source has been that it is a partnership. So just like a client needs to be close to their attorney and their advisor and their CPA, you can just add Foundation Source as one of those other advisors.
For me, I ended up finding Foundation Source specifically, not because of necessarily all of the amazing admin work that they do and kind of helping with day-to-day logistics, but because I'm from a tech startup, I actually found their platform online, and that, from a technology standpoint, is what got me.
There's a great sense of satisfaction in helping somebody start one of these. You do get to see the younger generation get involved, and at the same time, you're taking care of something that was very important to the older generation.
So I think it would behoove financial advisors to figure out a way to look beyond maybe their traditional scope of stocks and bonds, to widen the aperture to start to think through other solutions.
By having Foundation Source as our partner, it frees me up to work on what's important with the client, which is, figuring out how they can really give back to society and make impact.